Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great now that I'm with you.
Yay! Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young, and we are here to rant and rave. Jingle bells.
Oh, it's a holiday rendition.
It is.
I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
I was saying that I feel like I haven't seen you in a year, and it's been...
Even though we just saw each other on Friday.
Yes. But prior to that, we hadn't seen each other for...
a while.
10 days.
Yeah.
Felt like an eternity.
It really did.
Mm-hmm.
How was your week?
It was real fun. Kind of kicking off the holidays with the good old Hollywood Christmas parade, which I have not gone to in many, many years.
I have not gone since I was groped.
Well, I thought you were about to say since you were young, which also wouldn't make sense because you didn't grow up here and I was picturing a child.
No.
What?
Remember, so I was taking a class over at IO.
Yes.
And it was Hollywood Christmas parade night. So I got caught up in the Christmas crowd. And on the corner of Vine and Ivar, there was a bottleneck at the corner of people trying to get up to see the parade.
Okay.
And so there was a man behind me rubbing his penis on me.
Nope.
And I kept telling him to stop and I couldn't move. None of us could move.
Oh, God.
And so I said to the man in front of me, there's a man rubbing his penis on me behind me. And so he grabbed me and shoved me into, it was a garage door at the time because it was a closed down building.
Right.
And he punched the guy and they were fighting. And every time they swung at each other, my head hit the metal garage door.
Stop it.
And then he grabbed me and said, run. And so I ran, I found my way out and I went up to the cops and I said, can I please cross the street? I need to get across the street. And they said, no, there's a parade. And I go, look, my class is over there. I just got groped and molested by a man put his penis on me. I was crying, obviously. And I said, and another man punched him. And I said, I just need to get across. And they rolled their eyes at me and went, fine, just go. That was all. I said a man put his penis on me, and they were like, ugh, just go.
That is a lot worse than my complaints about the parade.
How was the parade?
Okay, I'm really sorry that happened. First of all, I am. Anytime
scary.
Someone experiences that, it's
really
disgusting
scary.
and unacceptable. That goes without saying.
And also, a Christmas
at a
parade
family
is for the
function,
families.
it's all families there, and even people that are our age or people that are single or whatever or don't have kids. It's a family-friendly event, as it should be.
Right.
It is not some wild and crazy thing. So
now, when I retell it, I'm like, oh, it's funny. My head slammed against a garage, but it's really not a funny story.
No, that's
I know,
horrifying.
it's gross. Anyway, but you had a nice time.
Well, it was very interesting. So that parade's never been great. Let's be frank.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, admittedly, we possibly have the greatest parade in the country. I am a bit biased with the Rose Bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
It's outstanding, and people come from all over the country. I think even out of the country.
Oh, I think so.
For a lot of
sure.
the floats.
Yeah.
It all has to be made with natural and organic materials.
Flowers and materials
it's
and
outstanding.
Yes.
So, but that being said, and anyone that's ever been agrees, we're Hollywood. We are the entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah. I
know
when
the
you
parade's
see what
only
people do for Halloween on their own houses, and then you go to that parade and you're like, wait, what?
It's a joke. First of all, I have a lot of, I'm going to keep this somewhat succinct, but you have marching bands, okay? Have it be like really, I usually cry when I hear a marching band. Get very moved by that bombastic music. And the marching bands were a little light as far as the power behind them, I guess. Also, whoever was running the parade, let me start with this. The parade was supposed to start at 5. They got it rolling at 7:15.
No. What on earth happened?
Don't know what the holdup was, but once it started running, instead of whoever had it going and should have kept it marching on like a wedding coordinator, but a parade coordinator, it would be like marching band, then 10 minutes of nothing.
No.
Then a crappy Nutcracker balloon coming down the street, then nothing. Then some cars. Oh, look, it's our mayor. And no one is saying anything. It's radio silence.
But it was the mayor of Hollywood, right?
No,
Which
it
is
was
not...
our mayor, Eric
Oh.
Garcetti.
Are you serious?
And he was like, hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. You know, sitting in the
Yeah.
top of like an open Cadillac convertible,
Yeah.
crickets chirping. No one waved. No one was cheering.
Ooh.
And then I do have to go so far as to say, I think I was like, are we watching a movie right now? Because he kept pointing, and I don't know to who, because I didn't hear a person saying a damn word. Good Merry Christmas to you, young man. I'm like, there's no young man saying Merry Christmas. Waving, hello, young lady. Happy holidays to you.
That's what I would be doing too.
I mean, God bless. He had to save face. I understand, right? I don't know why I'm shouting. I'm sure you're turning on my volume. I got very worked up about the mayor. Okay. Also, they had one car. There were only 2 cars of anything of note, if you will. Legends of General Hospital.
Yeah.
I think it was people that were on like when we were really young kids that maybe our mothers were watching. And then the favorite, the car that drove by that said Cast of Charles in Charge 30-year anniversary.
Oh.
I only recognized Scott Baio, and I can assure you no one was cheering for him now that we know what he's like these days.
Right?
So it was pathetic. There's usually, I call them a coven of witches. There's some group, they weren't there this year, of ladies that wear black and like
dance?
black lace. Nope.
Oh.
They are being pulled in miniature chariots by miniature horses.
What are you talking about? Why do you not know what this group is?
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, well, they were there every year. And I'm always
how
like,
do
what
you
is
not
this?
know?
A coven
like,
of
I
witches?
would want to join them. I'm like, yeah, I want a chariot with a mini horse. Are you kidding me?
Also, I got to find out who they are. It's like some group from Alameda or something. I don't know.
I would drive to Alameda for those meetings.
They literally look like what you would see as like a Sicilian widow from like a movie from 40 years ago. Like a lady shrouded in black lace standing on a cliff.
Yes. I would braid my hair and let it dry and then unbraid it so it was like natural waves from history.
The parade was truly awful. Like,
okay,
the
but
worst.
you did something that made me go, Jessica!
I know. So I did get really excited. So again, because there were such long pauses, like real long pauses, all of a sudden I see something and I'm like, what is that? And it's from a good distance. As it's coming closer, I'm like, is that Shen Yun? Because
it was a dragon. It was all lit up.
dragon and it was gold, but it had that pink with touches of blue where I'm like, oh my God.
And
of
also
course
you're
it's Shen
obsessed
Yun.
with Shen Yun.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm like, well, why wouldn't they put a marching whatever in the parade? They pay for advertising around the world.
Yeah, but they're not going to put it in that crappy parade.
Well, you were right.
Yeah.
And I'm even more embarrassed because it was a Japanese organization.
Oh.
I think from LA, like a Japanese heritage club.
It was beautiful what they were doing.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But
they were dancing. There were women dancing, and then they had the big lit up dragon and stuff. It was beautiful.
I thought it was Shen Yun.
And
then when I saw the men beating the drums in like the obi belts they were wearing, I'm like, oh, this is Japanese, not Chinese. And so I changed my video to hashtag not Shen Yun.
Yes. They were nice to you. They waved at you.
Mm-hmm. One guy really stared at me, smiling for a long time. I hope he understood.
That's basically like somebody looking at me and being like, hey, white girl. Hey, white girl. Except I'm like some other nationality
not
that's
white.
not white.
Oh my God.
Except I'm actually truly Hispanic.
Oh my God.
Which I am,
I know.
yes. But they were not Shen Yun.
Oh my God. They were not Shen Yun, everybody. I was real disappointed. And I will tell you one more thing that is the highlight of that parade. So it started with that one crappy balloon. And I'm like, as usual, one balloon. Why'd they even bother?
Yeah.
So as the Nutcracker came down the street, my friend and I were already crying laughing. I was with my friend Scarlett. And we were like, look at that janky, pathetic balloon. Aww. And all of a sudden, as it got right near us, it started coming down.
Oh.
Well, we were so taken with it coming down. Like, it was like, of course it's coming down. We were crying, like, could not control ourselves. My friend was laughing so maniacally that teenage boys in front of us turned around with shit-eating grins to see where is that noise coming from, saw it was her, and then filmed her.
Laughing,
I'm like, you're going
instead
viral
of the,
tonight. Yes.
Instead of the falling balloon.
Because it was literal insanity how she was laughing.
My God.
So we were dying, and then it happened a few more times, and we were like, what is wrong with these people that they can't wrangle the balloons? And why does it keep happening right around the area of us? Well, I guess we missed the memo. Towards the almost end of the parade, I look up, and it was fairly transparent. There was an officer motioning them to put it down because there was a power line going across the
Oh my
street.
God, you assholes were making fun of the
We thought
balloons
it was,
for being crappy and falling when they were only following directions.
We thought the Wranglers just couldn't keep them up anymore and that they just kept collapsing right around the time it got to us.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. But also, back to how packed it used to be. You used to not be able to walk down that sidewalk or that street.
No, we couldn't move.
Okay, now even though there was people from like Hollywood and Highland all the way down to Grauman's, right? It's not even called Grauman's anymore, but the Chinese theater that we all know
Man's
of.
Chinese, yeah.
People lining the streets on both sides, but just at the curb. It was not like
Stacked
20
back.
people deep.
Yeah, it used to be stacked deep.
Correct. These sidewalks were fully open. You could have had a marathon of runners running up and down the sidewalk. It was sad.
That's so sad.
But I guess other people got the memo that the parade just isn't the same these days.
Yeah.
I did catch a toy that was thrown off of a fire truck during the parade.
Oh, well, that's nice. Did you keep it
No,
or give it
I'm
to
gonna
a child?
put it like in. When I was at Starbucks this weekend, I saw they put their
Toys for Tots or whatever.
Yeah, they have a so I'm gonna put it in there because they ask for like unwrapped toys and then they hand them out. So yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell everybody how to contact us so they can berate you for making fun of the Christmas parade.
Oh my God.
If you want to write in or comment on anything and let Jessica know what a Grinch she is, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Raves_the. You can go to our website, therantsandраvespodcast.com. There's a contact us button there. Or you can straight up email us at therantsandраvespodcast@gmail.com. And please, guys, all we want for Christmas are rates and reviews.
Exactly.
That's what you can get me and Jessica for Christmas. And you know what? Jessica and I might have some holiday plans here that we're going to gift you with something fun to look at.
That's right.
So maybe hit that 5-star button, write a little note, listen to this podcast. That's all you got to say.
Exactly.
That's what we want for Christmas. My week was... What did I do this week?
You had lots of things going on.
I know, I had some auditions and things. Don't worry, guys. All things are status quo. Didn't book them. Came real close and then didn't.
That sucks.
But I've had such a great time with my kid this week. He has been so talkative.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just about random, like asking lots of questions. But did I tell you what he said? I told him, I said, oh, your jammies are getting too small. I'm going to have to go get you new jammies. You're growing. And he goes, I'm growing? And I go, yeah, you're going to grow. You're probably going to be bigger than daddy, which is true. And he goes, I am? And I said, yes. And he like started stretching and grunting like he was trying to grow. And then he whispered very seriously, I can evolve.
What?
And I go, yes, you can.
Amazing.
I can evolve, he said. We couldn't figure out where he got it. I think it's a Pokemon thing. But he was like, oh, when Pokemon grow, they evolve and they get new powers.
That's amazing.
So when I said he was going to keep growing, he's like, I can evolve.
Also, could it possibly be the snake that scared the bejesus out of me when I walked into your bathroom?
Have you seen it? Did you see it on the kitchen counter
No,
this
but
week?
I saw it when it grew to the size of an anaconda in your bathtub.
It is teeny tiny again. It's teeny tiny again because I had to wash it because Cutter peed on it. Because I put it on the dryer thinking, oh, this will scare her. She peed on the snake.
Unreal. Unreal.
I can't stand her. She's such a monster. It's out of control right now.
Oh my God.
Literally, I have to take her to the doctor and be like, there's something either physically or mentally wrong with this cat. Fix it.
Well, mentally, we know.
Yeah. So, and then we went to a holiday party together. Well, not together, but we saw each other there. That was fun.
That was fun.
And I got to see Alan.
Yes.
Your husband. And my anniversary was this week.
19 years?
18.
Was it? 18.
But we've been together for 21.
That's unreal.
Isn't it? I'm over
that's
it.
A lifetime for some
I'm
people.
over it. I'm just kidding. No, it was nice, and he got me beautiful flowers.
No, 21 years. That's a long time. There's people that don't make it 3 years.
I know somebody was like, have you gotten to the point where you've been together longer than half your life now? And we're getting really close. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Love it.
Anyway, we're coming up on the holidays.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into rants, and you're up first. That's why I mentioned that, because it is a Christmas related. Both of our rants are a little Christmas related.
We're going to have lots of holiday talks over the next few weeks.
But we're very inclusive of all beliefs, all religions. Jessica's a Jew. I'm a Gentile. So we're appreciative of everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
I already have my Christmas tree and my collection of menorahs up and out.
You're Jewish and you have your Christmas tree up. I am not, and no Christmas tree.
I begged my husband to go get, can you please go get the tree? He goes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm like, you need to go get it tonight.
Oh, see, I can't get a real tree because I grew up with a fireman. It's ingrained in me that it's dangerous.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had a real tree.
Why?
Because they're a fire hazard.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, admittedly so. Alan was like, I don't want one. I'm like, since when do you not want one? And he goes, because I feel really guilty cutting down a tree.
I know, I don't like that either. Like, everybody loves the Rockefeller 30 Rock in New York tree. It breaks my heart every year.
Is it a real tree?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I mean, I will tell you this, and I should have had info about this, but I didn't think I was going to have to justify my tree.
Sorry.
But we do.
Sorry.
No, there is a group I know that started in Seattle, I believe. I know it was in Washington State. Mm-hmm. Where they deliver trees to people, and they are in a pot.
Yes, I've seen those.
And then they
pick it up,
go away, and they are replanted.
Yeah, I think that's nice. But it's expensive.
Lovely.
It's really expensive.
I admit, I love the smell of it. Look, I did not have one in the house growing up. My dearest friends from childhood, all three of them we all lived in the same neighborhood within 1 block of each other.
And I was
in and out of their houses all the time as they were with mine. I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with their families every year.
Yeah.
But as an adult, and now that I have a Catholic husband, I'm like, let's get that tree.
Yeah. Well, Dan
I also
Tipton
love the
grew
smell
up,
of it.
He liked the smell. So I buy us, I usually do, I haven't yet this year, but a real wreath for the
Trader
smell.
Joe's has amazing wreaths and garlands and even what they call a swag, like for the door. Just
That's
like a
nice.
piece of pine with the pine cones and whatever.
Not a sponsor.
Yes. No.
That's really nice.
I know.
Wow. Well, go ahead and get into your rant, Jessica, because you're real wound up about it.
Well, it's really...
Or I guess Alan is even more wound up about it.
This is... Okay, we all know that Dana can't even handle farts, or as she calls it, poop wind.
Yeah.
Also, she doesn't like anything dealing with poo. Look,
No.
I don't have a fetish with that, nor do I like it at all. I don't. There are certain things that I find hilarious that make me cry laughing. Doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I want to be near it or touch it. Okay? But I don't know if it makes you, Dana Powell, as angry as my husband, but my husband is incensed by the poo emoji.
I can't stand...
He's fine with it on the phone.
But it's the pillows and the stickers. And,
Yes. And that we've seen for a few years, right?
Yes.
That has been around and we didn't like that. But this year, I'm going to go so far as to say, I feel like it is an epidemic of Poo Emoji Products.
Really?
Specifically out for the holidays. Yes. Target, I'm looking at you, and I have a lot of good things to say about Target because there's so much to be had there at the holidays if you're looking for fun things. Not that that's shocked anyone. The drugstores.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, CVS. Not a sponsor, but you could be. You have way too many poo products.
What poo?
Okay.
Now, I know there's like stupid unicorn poop and it's cotton candy
Well, that's a new
or farts
thing that one of our nieces asked for, and I saw the commercial for it, and I'm like, is this like a parody? That unicorn poo I actually thought was a joke. I thought like somebody parodied the
like they did
emoji
the commercial for Poopery had the unicorn that pooped sherbert.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, for instance, at Target, Play-Doh now has a Play-Doh fun factory for poo. The poo emoji.
No.
Yes. Like clearly.
Well, you can buy that dog that poops. You feed it Play-Doh.
What?
And then it wags its tail and poops.
No.
That's not a game. It's considered a board game. It's not. First of all, it's not a board.
What?
And it's not a game.
What?
And you pick up its poo-poo. I'm like, you can walk Lucy with me and pick up poo-poo.
Okay. That is horrifying. Okay, so I was very disappointed with Play-Doh, admittedly so, because I love Play-Doh. And I always am like, look at that cute little fast food stand or whatever.
Is it a bathroom? I don't understand what the setup is.
You know what? I have a picture of it, but I don't want to lose what I've pulled up on my phone to play.
Okay.
But we will post that Play-Doh poo factory, because I can assure I can't believe I didn't send it to you.
I can't
took
either.
a picture for you specifically. And this is before I knew we were going to go down the poop hole with this epidemic.
Don't ever
No pun intended.
Go down the poop hole again.
So then when I was at CVS, there was multiple products, including, and I quote, adult poo slippers. So they're slippers and you put your feet into the emoji poos.
No.
But the janky, like generic header that it was hanging on just said adult poo slippers.
No.
Because these are all just like no-name companies that are copying the emoji.
For $5.95.
So my dad is in town right now, and we stopped in CVS last night really quick to grab some stuff.
Okay.
And this one put me over the edge.
Oh, no.
For those of you listening, I'm going to play it. And for those of you who ask sometimes, you're like, you mentioned this. Well, we do put it on social media. So if you follow us,
you can
get
see
the gift of watching this poo emoji dance while singing this song. And this is the first time that I did not show this to Dana prior to taping, because I need to get her real reaction from it. And you need to listen up to these lyrics. Okay?
Okay. What?
Number 2, he made the cutest little poo, and I'm known as such. Merry Christmas. You can't touch this.
Nobody wants to touch you!
You can't touch this. I'm strictly hands-off.
Poopy
Poopy time.
time? Why is it smiling? It's literally a piece of feces.
I can't breathe. I literally can't breathe.
Why are we selling dancing feces, making a stinky little poo?
Oh my God.
No.
Alan was livid when I showed him that. Livid.
What are we teaching our children?
He said, I am so tired of living in a culture what did he say? Not idolizes. Now I just lost his perfect
Celebrates.
sentence.
Like we're
Celebrate
celebrating
shit. That's
poo-poo.
what he said. Yes.
I cannot. That's the most ridiculous thing.
It's a dancing, singing poo.
With a
talking
Santa
about
hat.
Reindeers making a little poo under the tree. Don't touch
literally, at least South Park with Hanky the Christmas poo, at least we knew it was gross. We knew we were laughing at something disgusting. This is like, look how cute I am. I stink because I'm feces. Whoopee boopee. Boo-boos.
You can't touch this.
Nobody wants to touch it. What is wrong with our society?
I can't. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. He loves me. I love you.
No. And then there were poop smears on their faces when they would fight with him.
And he wrote Noel on the mirror.
Ugh.
I can't.
I mean, at least we knew that was supposed to be disgusting funny.
I know.
This is supposed to be like, hey, get your kids poop so that they can learn how to pick up their own poop and dance and sing with it. Let me tell you something. I've had a kid who picked up his own poop and did things with it, and it ain't funny. It is not funny.
I need an inhaler. There's the adult poo slippers.
I'm not putting my foot in that.
Well, I cannot wait for you guys to see the pictures of this absolute
You're going to
horror
post that
show.
video, right?
Of course I am.
That is the rudest, most disgusting.
I know.
How much was that stupid
I'm sorry.
thing?
I've now also found the Play-Doh poo factory.
No, it literally... No, why did they put pretty lips and eyelashes on that blue poop?
Yep. I can't.
What is wrong?
I can't.
When did we turn into 4-year-olds?
I don't know.
4-year-olds think poop is funny. They say poo-poo and pee-pee because it makes them laugh.
Yes.
And now, as an adult world, we are making poop slippers.
Right.
This is why we're having all this trouble with people dumping buckets of diarrhea on people.
Oh, God, please, no.
We're not going to talk about it, but
No.
come on.
I know.
We're not supposed to play with poop.
There's nothing okay about it. Please do not buy any poo product for anyone
Please don't.
in your life.
You know what? I can't imagine how much that stupid dancing poop costs, but I bet you could
$19.99.
you could feed 3 children for Christmas instead of buying that dancing poop.
I know. It actually made me. I can't.
I'm a little stinky. What did it say? No, don't replay it. No, can't touch this. If I was MC Hammer,
I would sue them.
oh my God.
I would sue.
I'm sure they have permission. They had to have copyright.
Do you think?
I don't know. Parodies are a fine line, so I'm not sure.
Well, it's not exactly Weird Al voicing that poo.
No.
I wish it was.
I still
He would never
unacceptable.
stoop
He
so
wouldn't
low.
do it.
He would never stoop so low.
Oh my
Al,
God.
if you're listening,
Please don't do a poop song.
can you rewrite You Can't Touch This to help us out here and get that out of our heads?
Oh my God.
Okay, that really, I wasn't kidding. I talk about a cleansing breath. I know we're not ready for that, but I need an inhaler breath because
That is the dumbest
made me
thing.
wheeze.
That is, I mean, literally, I feel shaky.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I don't either.
And I don't want my kid to think that's okay.
No.
That's another thing, too, when he used to watch that cartoon where they would poop and fart in each other's mouths. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
I don't want...
What?
Yeah, I posted on my
What
Facebook.
cartoon?
I will send you a clip of how I talked about this on a show called A-Hole Parents, because I was like, I guess I'm an asshole parent because I won't let my kid watch this cartoon. It's these little bugs that live in a sewer, and somebody drops something down in there and they're like, oh, I want to eat it. And then they fight over it. And the one who gets mad's like, well, I'm going to poop in your mouth. And they poop and fart, but they don't talk. They go, meh, meh, meh. It's awful. He found it on Netflix by himself.
Unacceptable.
Yes, it's awful.
I can't.
I'll send you the video. Maybe we'll
Okay.
post that too.
Oh my God.
Well,
What's your rant this week?
my rant is also holiday related. It's a little bit more of a PSA.
Okay.
So
Cleaner.
a little cleaner. So mine is just about this is kind of a let's be mindful corner, but it's a
Okay.
little bit of a rant because
Okay.
people have done this to me. My dad recently did this to me and I let him have it. Guys, don't be on your phones too much during the holidays. When you're spending time with your family, Jessica and I talked about this in the green room dump. We have such a habit these days of recording everything, taking photos of everything, and a little bit's okay.
Yes.
But don't be on Facebook looking at everybody else's until after your family holidays, right? Don't be making too many videos where you can't remember. My Rave actually talks about that a little bit, where there were some studies done and they gave some people phones, some people were not allowed to have phones, and they went off to do their things. And people who didn't have their phones actually have more brain memories, more clear memories of the experience
That's very
than people with
interesting.
phones. But the people with phones have actual pictures to look at. So I guess it's kind of a toss-up. But when you're on your phone, you're not spending quality time with your family. And
Right.
and listen, all these fingers are pointing back at myself too, because I do the same
Everyone's
thing.
guilty of it at some point.
Yeah, it's just become so in the fiber of our society. But when you're having after dinner and you're having that time where you just like veg out and watch Christmas movies, don't be on your phone. Just watch the movies. Just pat your kid's back, like whatever.
Yeah.
Don't do it because when not the last time my dad was in the hospital, but the time he had anaphylactic shock.
Oh my God.
And I in a half hour ran to the airport and got on a plane. And then I get to the hospital and I'm I was so rude because I'm in his room and he's texting someone. And I go, hey, I'm sorry. Can you put your phone down and stop texting your buddy you probably see all the time? Because I flew here from California and it took me a half an hour to get out of bed and on a plane. So I put a lot of effort into being here. Can you look at me? I was so mad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did. He was like, well, sorry, just letting them know how I am. I go, I want to know how you am. I flew here. Just mean to my dad. He's in the hospital.
Oh
but
my
it's true.
God,
It's like,
yes.
put the gosh darn phone down. But I do the same thing. Yesterday we went to Cheesecake Factory and I was taking pictures of me and Henry. And then I was like, oh, I should probably just like sit and have dinner. So just a PSA, guys. Take your pictures, get one photo of whatever present you're excited about them opening. You know, take a couple of videos, snapshots, whatever, and then put your phone down. Don't go on Instagram. Now, I'm not going to promise I'm not going to do it. It's tough. It's real tough. I like to see people's pictures. I'm going to try. Let's all try to make an effort.
And you can do it during like nap time.
Yes, nap time or after dinner, not during.
Or if someone is
when we're all vegging
sitting
out.
through Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer on TV, and
I'm sure my mom will make me like watch The Preacher's Wife or something. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to do it.
Does she like all this Hallmark Christmas movies?
Yes, of course. And my aunt does too. She watches them all. They're on like 24 hours a day right now.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I haven't seen? Because we were talking about all those iconic Christmas commercials that come on year after year. Why haven't I seen the Folgers commercial where the son comes back? I think he's in the military.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes in early morning. And the mom sees him and like she's starting to put the coffee on.
Yeah.
And she turns around, he's there, and it's like the best part of waking up
is Folgers in your cup. Yes. And then you cry.
Yes, it gets me every year, and I haven't seen it.
Well, maybe he asked for too much money.
Like,
he's like, no, we're going to negotiate. It's been 32 years. I am 89 years old.
for real. But can you imagine? I mean, I wonder how that works. That's a different subject entirely. But if you were somebody that booked that commercial and now 10 years later, 20 years later.
Yeah, that military teenager probably owns 5 houses now. Because back then commercials were different. People made tons of money.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, put your phones down and don't buy poop for Christmas.
Please do not. Do not.
But if other people buy poop things for Christmas, definitely send us pictures so we can make fun of it and be mad.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we need a cleansing breath for sure. Okay, so wherever you are, feel free to, please do a cleansing breath with us. After all of the poop, literal poop we just filled your ears with.
That ain't no lie.
Please do a cleansing breath. If you're by yourself, feel free to scream it out. If you're not by yourself, but you feel safe screaming it out, then go ahead. All right, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, in. And... oh, that always feels good.
That's great.
Yeah. Do you want to take a nap?
Yeah.
Stay off your phone. Okay, well, we're moving into corners.
We are.
You have a sweet corner. You're up first.
Oh, God. This is, some of you, look, sometimes we may find stories that are not as obscure, and you may have seen them, but guess what? Some of you may have not or heard of them, so I apologize.
Do you think this is a Kids Are Amazing? Kids Are Amazing! Or is it...
Yeah, I think it is.
Maybe we need a new... It's just... I love love. I just love it.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, this is...
You may have seen it this week. It's pretty popular because it's too precious.
Yeah. A 5-year-old boy's entire kindergarten class showed up for his adoption hearing.
Oh...
Okay. Michael's new teacher knew the adoption would be finalized soon, so she and Michael's adoptive mom agreed on how to make the big day particularly special for Michael. From there, McKee, that's the teacher, organized the whole class outing, procuring a school bus and gave her students a field trip to remember.
Oh my God.
I love this teacher so much.
Yes.
We are so behind teachers. You
love
do
you. Oh, you do amazing.
amazing work year round. And again, good teachers shape and mold people. I
absolutely
still have a place in my heart for the greatest teachers that I had over the years.
And you do not forget your teachers that make a difference. You just don't.
I remember literally from kindergarten on every single teacher that I had.
I do too.
And oh God, we could go on and on about that. So the teacher came up with the idea to bring the class to Michael's adoption. She first started thinking about it when she learned that his foster parents were thinking of adopting him, and watched the other parents come together to support them. When she learned the court date, she pitched it to the principal, who said 100%, but there was a major hurdle: transportation. The school's walking district, they don't have school buses and couldn't afford to hire one.
Wow.
She emailed parents asking if any would help drive. 14 out of 23 offered to skip work and come. So
yeah, are you kidding
everyone
me?
can't do that, but for those parents who have the luxury of being at jobs that you can come and
And to
go,
have 14 out of 23, some
That's
of those
huge.
parents went out of
if they had
their
4, I would be impressed.
way.
Yes.
Yes.
So kudos to all of those parents
Holy
that
cow.
volunteer.
And what are they teaching their children? I mean, it's
Yes,
amazing.
It's
yes.
the best. A key called the bus garage. The bus driver said she hadn't gotten her request in on time, then asked what it was for, and I told her, and she said, you can have the bus and I'll drive it for free.
Oh my God.
So on Thursday, the driver dropped the ecstatic group off in front of the courthouse. The judge said that in her entire 22 years, she'd never had a class come to witness an adoption. Michael is banging the gavel to signify his family was officially official, and his classmates cheered and waved their heart sticks. Now, this is, of course, what made me tear up when we were talking about it
I
earlier.
have goosebumps.
The teacher
Oh my
clearly did this.
God.
So they have like giant, it almost looks like giant popsicle sticks, and they cut
Yes,
out hearts. And so each kid is waving the hearts
They're
in
raising
the air.
them in the air. Oh my
Look
God,
at
they're
these
waving
pumpkins.
them. Look at
We
all
had
of
them pick what color heart they wanted to bring and put them on rulers. The rulers. Oh my God.
on.
Because love rules.
Stop
I'm
it.
corny like that, McKee said.
I love it. And you know how much I hate a pun. You know how much I hate a pun. I love that pun.
Look at those little pumpkins.
They are too cute.
I can't.
Why is that picture moving? Is this a Harry Potter?
No, it was like a video
Oh.
of them. Afterward, they all hugged on Michael and his dad laughed. McKee called the whole thing a domino effect of kindness and exemplifies what she always shows her students. You rise when you lift others.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So two of my dear friends of yours too, Brian O'Connell and Nick Armstrong, always say a high tide raises all ships.
Oh, that's a nice one.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And that's also to like...
I want that on a pillow.
I know. They always say it too, so it's like there's not competition between theaters or between other people. It's like,
true,
hey,
yeah.
if we're all doing good, we're all. It's raising our art, it's raising the community,
And
it's
it's so
raising awareness,
true.
whatever the subject may be.
Yeah.
So you rise when you lift others.
That is so precious.
So that was a really, really happy story.
It really is.
And what a way for a little
Look at
boy
him
to get the
sitting
holidays
there.
kicked
Oh,
off.
I can't wait for you guys to see these pictures.
Yeah,
Look at
he's
his face.
adorable.
Good Lord, he's a doll. Just pure
And he's
unadulterated
up there with the
joy.
judge, and
Yes.
I love the judge is wearing like, it almost looks like either
little
a red
Christmas-
scarf or a lei,
yes.
but she's wearing a necklace that is
With
made
Christmas
of
tree baubles.
ornaments.
Oh my God.
I know.
That is adorable.
It's real cute.
Oh man,
It looks-
Jessica, I'm getting ready to shift gears real hard. Oh no, guys, get ready for some whiplash. Oh man, I maybe should have went first.
Hilarious.
Oh
No. Hey, we have raves to round out the show. It's all, no matter what we say, we always end on a high note.
Okay. Well, I love to visit Oddity Central. So this is a oh my God corner. Man coughing nonstop for 2 months had leech stuck to his throat.
I'm sorry. Are you telling me I have a leech in my throat?
I would never call you
I'm
a
not
man.
kidding.
I would never call you a man.
Everything about this article could be me just by the
Except
subject.
for the man part.
Oh my God.
Doctors at a hospital in southeastern China's Fujian province recently reported the unusual case of a man whose nonstop coughing had apparently been caused by a leech attached to his throat.
I am going to stop you for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to China, I went to the Fujian province.
Oh my God.
It is not anywhere tourists go. It's nowhere
Wait a
near
minute.
Beijing,
When did you go?
Shanghai, or Hong Kong.
When did you go and did you have this voice
10 years
before?
ago. I just can't believe it's in Fujian.
Last Friday, the unnamed man arrived at the Wuping County Hospital in the city of Longyang?
Sure.
Okay, sorry guys.
Han Young. If you watched
Complaining.
Arrested Development.
Oh boy.
Han Young.
Oh, I can't. No. Complaining of almost nonstop coughing over the past 2 months. He had become increasingly worried about his condition after coughing up phlegm and blood. Yeah, that's a cause for concern.
Okay.
If you're coughing up phlegm and blood, guys, go to the doctor.
Oof.
So he finally decided to seek medical attention. Doctors at the hospital's respiratory department initially recommended a CT scan, but when that didn't reveal anything, they decided to try a more invasive procedure called bronchoscopy with a which allowed them to inspect the patient's air passages with a small camera. That's how they found a leech living in his throat. And I showed you pictures.
Yeah.
It ain't tiny.
We will not be posting
We won't?
that. No.
Oh.
We already got a letter last week saying I needed a trigger warning for this episode.
Which one?
The last one. I don't even remember what it was. It was, about a dry bug flying out of someone's nose.
Oh, yeah. That's just a biological snowflake. That ain't no leech in the back of your throat. And also that person's like, by the way, never speaking to Dana again. Only on the phone. Yeah. It is not tiny, Jessica.
I know.
And the mouth of it was wide open with all those little
It looked
teeth.
like a lamprey.
You did look like a lamprey. It really did. And couldn't he feel it like a little flag when he was coughing? Like, wouldn't it wave like a flag?
I think it was stuck like a slug.
Oh, God. And how did it get in there? Was he asleep and it crawled in and he didn't feel? What happened?
Well, that is curious because I'm serious. Not that I'm some expert on leeches, but from what I know of watching movies, don't they enter an orifice or like attached to your from being in a body of water? I mean, I believe they are waterborne creatures.
I think they're water, and usually they don't enter orifices. They're more like in
like stuck on your leg,
or a warm area, like around people's groins, on their thighs and stuff.
But I'm imagining it had to go into his mouth.
Well,
and I don't open my mouth underwater.
It definitely had to go in his mouth. I doubt it crawled in his butthole and climbed up to his throat.
Look, you know what these days? You never know. When there's a will, there's a way.
Oh my God. Well, maybe you can post the picture if we Photoshop a Santa hat on it.
Oh my God.
So it's holiday related. No?
It's too much to take.
How insane is that?
It's horrifying.
How could you not feel that in your throat? And also when it bit.
Also, is he okay?
I don't know. There was no more information.
That's even scarier.
Sorry about it.
I wish they would say the man is fine and blah, blah,
Nope,
blah.
didn't say.
Or he's dead. He lost 2 gallons of blood.
And the bleach got so big it blocked his airway.
It's making me itch. I'm having to click my...
Are you clicking your throat? Your throat itch clicker?
Oh my God.
It's gross.
It really is.
And it's like, if it can get in your throat, it can get in anywhere. I mean, you've seen, what's his name? Crazy Johnny Knoxville's friend, Steve-O. He put leeches on his eyeballs one time.
Okay,
And that was
you know
bad.
what? Then he deserves what he gets.
Oh, he did a lot of things for money.
I have to tell you, because you just bring up a great point. There is a new show, and now I'm furious that I can't remember the name of it. It's 2 guys. They both seem intelligent, and like they obviously have degrees in something dealing with wildlife, in particular reptiles and poisonous creatures and amphibians and insects. It's a new show. 99% sure it's on Nat Geo.
Okay.
Where they try to outdo each other
In bites?
with bites or stings. And I'm like, this is just dumb. And I don't care how disrespectful I sound. That is just dumb.
No way.
Okay?
I also don't want to watch that.
I don't either. And I don't care. Oh, you want to try to show me up with a painful sting or bite? Well, you go right ahead. Be my
guest.
You win. Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
hands down.
I don't get it. But I was shocked. I'm like, is this like a jackass for etymology nerds? Like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that.
Yes. It brings me back to my point. Like that has a TV show.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, brother.
Why do we like watching that stuff,
I don't know. Well, I don't.
I don't either, but
clearly there's an audience for it.
But I can't promise that at 3:00 in the morning sometime I wouldn't get curious and watch 10 minutes.
I mean, I watched an episode. That's how I know about it. But I didn't watch the whole thing. I was like, okay,
Yeah, no. It would
And I'm
get
being serious.
so
It
old
wasn't
so
that
quick,
interesting.
too.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's weird. They both shrieked in pain, and then there's a medical whoever there, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I know.
Are they cute?
Yes.
What a shallow question. I might watch it if they're cute.
That's
Are they cute?
hilarious.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
don't be sleeping with your mouth open near water.
Nope.
And if you can't stop coughing,
No can do.
go to the doctor before you think about what might be down there.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? I feel like the next time I start coughing, I'm going to start gagging and be like, there's a leech. I know there's a leech in my throat. Look down my throat. Is there a leech? Do you see it?
That,
I'm going to lose
if
my
there
mind.
is, then I'm going to faint and you'll probably never see me again. I'm not kidding.
I had a girlfriend one time that was like, this is going to sound weird. I need you to come over. I need your help. And I was like, okay. She's like, I lost my contact in my eye. And I was like, what? I didn't even know that could happen. I had never worn contacts. And so she had to lay on the couch and I had to like yank her eyelid around trying to find that contact. We did eventually find it.
You did? Mm-hmm. My neighbor just had that happen, but I told her, I said, I know it's awful and it must be driving you crazy, but until you can get to the doctor tomorrow, I'm like, do not touch your eye, because if it's in there, because she was certain it was in there, I said, you're just rubbing it around. It's going to just keep scratching your eye.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you could have
yeah.
a real problem. And that was the case. Her eye looked awful. It was like, looked beyond
Swollen.
bloodshot. Not swollen, just horribly bloodshot.
Yeah.
And it was out. But I get it. I'm the same way. I don't wear contacts, but if I didn't physically see it on my finger, like removed from my eye.
Wait, it wasn't in there?
No, she thought it was because she never saw it. And it obviously just eventually fell out.
Somewhere, yeah.
But she went to the doctor and they really poked around her eye and they're like, there's nothing in there, but it's very irritated.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, at least she was able to get something for it, I'm sure. How scary.
Yeah.
The thought of losing something inside my body is terrifying to me.
When the day comes that I need corrective eyewear, it will not be contacts. I mean, I feel like I have something in my eye every day anyway. And I'm always rubbing my eyes from allergies. And there's like that little piece of fluff. All day I feel like I have something like that in my eye.
I thought you did some magic that I didn't know because you put your hands up in the air.
Bim. No, there was like a tiny piece of something.
I didn't see it. You just did magic with your
It's
hands
like a
and went.
transparent
And
hair.
then convinced me you had done it like that. I just believed you.
Oh my God.
That's like I sent Jessica a picture the other day. Sometimes I send Jessica pictures of me when I just wake up just so she can see how horrible it is.
It's the best.
And that's when I said it was a rough night. I had feathers in my hair from my pillow.
You at least still look funny and cute. You've got to admit, I sent you one a week or two ago, and I'm telling you right now, I would never send that to anyone else. I wouldn't even show it to my husband as a joke. And if that picture ever got out, I'm just giving you
A warning?
carte blanche now. If you ever hated me and you wanted to ruin my life, you
That's
can
how to do it.
sell that picture to the National
You have
Enquirer.
so many horrible pictures of me. I would never.
No, it's horrific. Like, I was turned off by how bad that picture was. Like, absolutely horrifying.
Normally, do you get a little turned on by yourself?
I just mean like revolted, turned off, like ew. Shut the door. And I didn't do anything to embellish that. There's plenty of times where we can joke around or put our face in a certain position or a certain angle. Nope, I just
clicked.
took a selfie with no extras and
Listen, neither one of us are at our best when we first wake up.
No, I've never been. Okay?
Me either.
I didn't look good as a baby when I first woke up,
me
let alone as a
either.
grown woman.
No, I hate people like Cinderella that just wake up fresh.
Cinderella, I know people that are like, also their hair is still slick,
No.
stick straight, and they don't have bags under their
literally,
eyes.
like root around like a pig looking for truffles in my sleep.
Yes.
I don't know what I do.
Oh my God.
I don't know what.
Same.
Yeah.
Why do I look like a horned owl every morning?
I
Like
look
my
like a-
eyebrows are rubbed out and up.
I look like Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Stop
like a
it.
Dr. Seuss character.
Stop it. At
My
least
hair's
they're
all
cute.
No, not when it's human and you're like, that's not supposed to look that way.
I look like Andy Rooney. I'll take a Dr. Seuss character any day
Oh my God.
over a grumpy old man.
I don't know why
who
it's-
complains about kids and the way they act these days. I can't.
I don't know why I think it's so funny to send hideous pictures of myself to you.
Oh, well, I love it.
All right. Well, we should get into our raves,
Let's
I
do
guess.
that.
Let's bring some positivity to this,
Yes.
to this horrible, horrible show. Happy holidays, guys.
Oh, my God.
Leeches. Poop, leeches, and we are ugly. Happy holidays.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you're up first for raves.
Okay, this is something that I came across while I was at Target. Because, again, you can find something kind of for everyone.
Target should be a rant one day because
yeah,
I go
it's
in there
crazy.
for one thing and walk out $400 later.
Now, I will tell you, I'm a big proponent, always have been, of shopping small. Yes, I am going to get on that soapbox. Please support your local stores.
Yes.
Small mom and pop boutiques
Definitely.
are such a dying breed, and those that have stuck it out over the years, please support them.
Especially
because
during the holidays.
between Amazon and big box stores, they really can't compete in some cases.
No.
And they're putting them out of business. But I assure you, there are special, amazing, unique things you can find in your local neighborhood
that
boutique.
you will never find anywhere else.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
So definitely, again, shop small. We're always going to push that.
Yeah.
However, admittedly, if you have kids, okay,
Yeah.
it may not be as easy. And especially for fun little things, for like stocking stuffers.
Right.
Or a lot of times people need to get stuff for coworkers. And look, most people on these days are on a budget.
Yeah.
And you need something that's not that expensive, and you may need to buy 3 to 20 of them or whatever. There's great options for literally like things that cost under $5. Some
Yes.
even like $1. So I loved this. Who doesn't love chocolate?
I love chocolate.
But I always like to find like different kinds of candies and fun things, right? And this is a company called Endangered Species Chocolate. And the packaging is beautiful, so that really caught my eye.
I don't know why I giggled. For some reason in my mind, I was like, oh, chocolate made of panda bears.
Oh my God.
No, it's not. It's
Made
really.
of their poo. It's recycled.
Oh, God.
Very eco-friendly.
No, it's very lovely. Sorry,
Oh my
I
God.
ruined it.
No, not at all. I will put a link to this. It is part of a website called chocolatebar.com, but it is in particular the endangered species chocolate. And it's empowering farmers and their communities, ensuring our products advocate a sustainable ecosystem that encourages habitat conservation and nurtures communities that enrich farmers and their families.
Wow.
So I love it, again, because it goes to something good, but it goes to a lot of things that are good.
Yeah.
I'll get into this further about what they donate to, but it's going towards the protection of endangered species. But the fact that it's going so far to be fair trade and deal with the farmers directly is really
Amazing.
tip top on my list.
Yes.
So supporting species, habitat, and humanity is in our DNA. In 2005, the company was purchased and moved to our current headquarters in Indianapolis and continued to innovate. We became part of the Indianapolis landscape and began to stand apart through our quality product and commitment to support conservation groups through our give back partnerships. Throughout history, Endangered Species Chocolate has remained a leader in supplying ethical chocolate to the market. Proud to be a non GMO, big kudos there, fair trade premium chocolate option for customers. We donate 10% of our annual net profits to our give back partners and have given over $1.4 million.
Wow.
Over the last 3 years alone. As we continue to evolve and expand, remember that with each delicious bite, you're supporting organizations and quality products and a commitment to support conservation groups through our give back partnerships. I think I just repeated myself a little bit. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
So part of what the money goes to is every purchase of their product finds initiatives around the globe that ensure wildlife can continue to thrive. In the past year, our partners Wildlife Conservation Network and Rainforest Trust, along with Give Back alumni, led worldwide conservation initiatives with the support of ESC, that's Endangered Species Chocolate. With our combined efforts, our partners were able to accomplish all of the below in 2018. In addition to the land protected, $299,000 in fair trade premiums were allocated to support farmers, their families, and communities in the Ivory Coast. Funding of projects that address threats to lions, including habitat loss, human-lion conflict, and the loss of lions and prey from illegal bushmeat poaching. Efforts to stop the poaching of elephants and eliminate the trafficking and demand for elephant ivory. So again, that's big money that they've donated.
Yes.
And that is 3 major things that they have given to just in the previous year. And they pick multiple things each year, like specific areas that it's going to.
I just love it too. Like, we all buy chocolate at some point.
Yes.
We all do. Wouldn't it be nice if you know that your purchase is going towards helping in some way? You know, rather than just like, oh, I'm in the cash register line at the store, I'm going to grab this chocolate bar.
And because they're fair trade, this is something, I mean, there's so much to read on their site about this, but also I guarantee you, and since they're a certified non-GMO product, they're probably also getting their cacao nibs and things like that, which are grown in various parts of the world. And that is another fair trade thing and a way to give back to a community by buying from those farmers.
Absolutely.
So it's an incredible product. I will post a picture. I know I took a picture of at least one of the bars before I wrapped them, because I did wrap some up as gifts. But this one is a caramel, sea salt, and dark chocolate.
Oh, yum.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And yeah, so...
yeah, the wrapping is really pretty.
It's really beautiful. So that's a really nice, lovely gift or perfect thing to slip in a stocking, or if you celebrate Hanukkah, as a little Hanukkah gelt.
Yes.
So, yes.
I love that. Thank you for bringing that in.
Yes.
I am going to rave about something. So first of all, I want to give a quick shout out because it kind of led to me finding what our rave is this week. So we always say we have a pod squad.
Yes.
We have other people in our podcast family that have podcasts. We support them. We love them, whatever. So my friends, Deborah and Diana, are identical twins. Nice. And then they have another partner that also is a J name. And they have a new podcast. It's not super new, but newer. And it's called Spark My Interest. And so all 3 of them bring in, it's kind of like, you know how I love No Such Thing as a Fish. Yep. It's kind of like that. All 3 of them bring in something that sparked their interest and made them want to know more about it. And they all share their thing, and then they vote one that wins at the end of the episode. Yep. So if you're looking for something fun and interesting like that, Spark My Interest, the podcast, you can find them on Apple Podcasts, and I'm sure all the other platforms. They're really, really lovely, lovely people. I adore them. And they have said very nice things about you, Jessica.
Oh, stop it.
They think you're very funny.
Thank you.
Which they're right.
Ladies.
You are.
That's
so
making me blush.
I was on our social media. I did a shout out to them last week because I knew we weren't recording, last week. And so I wanted to make sure I got information out there. And that also I didn't forget to shout them out on our show. But it also led me to finding my rave today. So I want to... it's the holidays, and we've talked about mentioning this. The holidays can really be tough for some people. And I don't have that exact experience, but I know people who do. There's a lot of grief and sadness and loneliness that comes with the holidays for multiple reasons. You know, loss of a family member, not speaking to family, feeling lonely or isolated if you're not near people, you know, that do a lot of things for the holidays. There's lots of things that can really, really weigh people down. The New Year's is coming up, and there's such massive pressure of like, what are you going to do this year? What did you do last year? What are your goals for 2020? And it's so much pressure. Well, I found this podcast called The Happiness Lab. And you guys know I love self-help anything. Like I can't, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it, right? I'll listen, watch, read. I don't care. But sometimes there are things that make me go, okay, foo-foo.
Right.
This podcast is not one of those. Right. So I'm going to read you an article about it. I will say I recommended it to my family, which I recommend things to them all the time. And they're kind of like, okay, Dana. And I was like, also, that sounded like an ad. I don't know this person. Like, it's just really amazing. So my sister listened to it. She was blown away. She actually signed up. Whatever. Let me get into. Okay. So you can find it on any platform. It's called The Happiness Lab, and it is by Lori Santos. She is the head of Silman College. Lori Santos's new podcast, The Happiness Lab, has launched with an episode on the impact of happiness on well-being. She is a psychology professor who previously taught Yale's largest ever lecture, Psychology and the Good Life, which centered on teaching students to live happier, more fulfilling lives. In an email to the news, Santos said the new podcast will explore, it's not new anymore, sorry about that, explore various aspects of well-being on a weekly basis. The main theme of the podcast is that our minds lie to us about what makes us happy. We have these strong intuitions that certain things will bring us joy, more money, better grades, even more options and choices, which is an episode I listened to, and it's so powerful. We think having more options makes us happier, and it's actually making us stressed out.
Yep.
But by and large, these intuitions are just wrong. Each podcast episode picks one lie of the mind and explains where we go wrong and how we can do better. Future episodes will focus on the relationship between money and happiness, the importance of reference points when assessing one's life situation, and how solitude and socializing impact happiness. Santos started the podcast in response to the amount of press attention her class garnered from around the world. The widespread interest showed her that people outside of New Haven were also interested in the science of how to live a happier life. This is the best part, guys, so listen up. I'm pricking your ears. She first created an online course, which has since been taken by 400,000 people across 200 countries to spread the insights of the class beyond Yale's campus. So basically what happened, and I'm going to read some more about this, but I just want to interject. She started hearing all of her students at this Ivy League school where people should be like, they're really getting set up well for the future, you know, and lucky to be there and all these things. And she kept hearing them all talk about how unhappy they were, how stressed they were. Yep. She could hear them talking about social media. Why didn't I get enough likes? All these different things. So she decided to teach this course, and she was going to use it as a study because she's a doctor. So she was going to track their progress, blah, blah, blah. She thought about 29, 30 students would sign up. 1,200 students showed up. It is now a free online course, you guys.
That's amazing.
My sister signed up for it. I'm going to sign up for it. If you don't want to commit that much, listen to the podcast. I'm telling you, it is not hokey, hippy-dippy bull crap. It is real things that will change your perspective, real exercises to use. She talks about even like, we think the Fitbit is making us healthier. It's actually stressing us out. We just have to learn how to find mediums. Anyway, she says, since not everyone can afford the 16 hours necessary to take the class, a podcast was an easier, shorter, and less intensive way for people to learn the insights she teaches. She added that the podcast does not require people to sit and spend time focusing on the course. Instead, people can learn how to view the world more positively in leisure time, including their daily commute. So the information is so much more accessible. My more specific hope is that listeners will be people that don't have the time to take a full online class, but want to learn some bite-sized tips about how to live better.
That's great.
She notes that beyond its accessibility, the podcast also allows her to delve deeper with special guests. She has all of these guests that are incredible. She has invited many different guest speakers, including scientists studying happiness, such as Liz Dunn, Sonia Lyberminski, Dan Gilbert, psychology professors at the University of British Columbia, the University of California, Riverside, Harvard. She added that she will also interview some famous guests about their experiences implementing the science of happiness into their own lives, including Dancing with the Stars champion J.R. Martinez, figure skating legend Michelle Kwan, which I listened to that one yesterday and it's incredible. Trans right activist and former Navy SEAL Kristen Beck, and even Grammy-winning musician David Byrne. I just listened to his too. The podcast can be found for free on the Happiness Lab website or Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and other podcast providers. As of now, the podcast will run for 2 seasons with 10 episodes between 45 minutes and an hour. They're pretty bite-sized, and they're so, what's the word I'm looking for? Like mentally digestible? Is that a thing?
Sure.
It's not anything you have to like
I think
put
that's
together.
a good point.
Put together the pieces and go, okay, how on earth can I implement this in my life? They're such simple things.
That's great.
And basically the thing is too, happy people are not always happy. We think that happiness has to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not about that. It's about learning how to be our happiest the most that we can, and then using perspective to appreciate where we are in life at the moment, and that's okay. Anyway, I think it's beautiful. If you have the time to sign up for the class, my sister says it's amazing. If you don't, just listen to the podcast, read some articles and interviews by her. She is just lovely. Did you see the picture of her? She's a darling. Curly hair. She got curly hair like you.
I love it.
So anyway, I know that this can be a difficult time of the year for people for the next couple of months. And then we get into a stretch where there's no holidays or days off of work, and that can be depressing. So anyway, I really want us to just find ways to keep our head above water, guys. We can do that together.
I also will throw in a really quick thing that I have had to make a conscious effort to do. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it's really taken my entire life to get to this point. I've been making a conscious effort when I'm out in public with people and strangers and their insanity, and with work when people get really worked up and things like that, consciously telling myself I do not need to match their energy.
Yes.
Which is, I'm sorry, I know I'm not alone in
That's
this.
why I read...
I can go from 0 to 100 in a second.
Me
and
too.
I'm not a maniac.
Yeah.
But if you come at 100, I'm going to meet you at 100 because it
a lot
came
of
from
creative
nowhere.
people are like that. we take on other people's energy,
Yes.
which is why I brought up several episodes ago. I don't know if you remember, but here's a quick reminder, and maybe for you as well, Jessica, Empath's Guide to Survival.
Yeah.
And that's about taking on other people's worries
Totally.
and emotions and how to, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's compassion is human, you know, but we also have to learn how to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is just a little, again, it's one minor example, but I'm telling you, it has helped me. Like something happened, like computers went down at work, first person flipped out, heard a second person flip out. I just took it upon myself, and I don't know whether it was the right thing to do, if it was the professional thing to do. Normally I would have walked around to people and made sure things are good in our office. I just kind of talked loud enough to make sure that the entire office could hear me. I wasn't yelling, but I don't exactly have a quiet voice.
you don't.
And I told everybody to take 5. And I just, instead of it turning into insanity, I said, everyone restart your computer, take 5. And a few people looked at me like deer in headlights. I'm like, actually, I'm going to insist that you stand up and either take a lap around the office or go outside and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
It'll do you some good. We're not going to freak out.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get upset. And I started talking in kind of a jokey voice at the end of my spiel, and it got some people laughing. And an employee texted me the next day and said, I wanted to let you know how you handled yourself. And the whole office yesterday was epic. And a lot of times, and I understand why, but like once people start freaking, then the management's freaking and it just turns into a shit show.
Yeah.
And you made it fun and funny, and thank you for that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So again, just take it down a notch, take a breath, and also just remind yourself, like, a lot of the times it's not personal. And you don't have to get upset. This person has a lot maybe going on in their life that you don't know about. And I just take a breath and go, okay.
And it's
instead
possible,
of being as angry back to the, or whatever. You know?
And it's possible to still be compassionate and there for someone without taking on the same energy
100%.
as your own worry and your
100%.
own concern and your own anxiety.
Yeah.
And I have an issue with that. So anyway,
Work in progress.
right? Always.
We all are.
And then also real quick before we kind of wrap up a little bit, because Jessica, I think that's our show.
It is.
I don't want to toot our own horn, but I want to celebrate us too, because I was just looking, this is episode 43.
I can't believe it.
Which means that we have consistently for 43 weeks shouted out good news stories.
Yes.
Good news stories, new charity organizations, new hometown heroes, new positive things every single week with your help, you guys.
Yes.
Because you send us things, Jessica and I look for things, but it really has helped me through this year.
Absolutely.
And I can't wait to see what else. I mean, we still have lists of things that we want to get out and talk about. You guys are still constantly sending us things. Don't stop.
No.
Because I'm like 43 times we have spoken about amazing things and never been at a loss.
Totally. And
that's how much goodness is in the world, even though we forget.
I agree. And we both talked about this week, that this podcast, and honestly, like getting to be with you at least once a week most times, it's really helped both of us get through a hell of a year.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of everyone I know has had something wonky at least once, if not throughout the entire year.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Dana. Thank you to all of our listeners. And yes, thank you to everyone who is a part of this whole experience, because it is truly something I look forward to, and kind of sometimes the only thing I'm not dreading that I have to do, because it's something we have to do because it's a commitment and we want to do it.
And we want to do it,
But I like it. Even when I'm tired, even if everything seems like shit, I'm like, well, this I know at least is going to make me laugh.
It's going to make me giggle,
and it's going to make us feel better.
My heart swell.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm really excited and happy that 43 times we've talked about two amazing things at the very least.
I agree.
I love it.
I love it too.
So Yeah, that was our show.
That's it, guys.
Jessica, you want to tell everybody how they can get a hold of us?
Yes. Again, if you would like to see that amazing dancing Poo, that's another reason to follow us on social media at the Rants and Raves podcast on Instagram and Facebook. On Twitter, we are at raves_the. You can email us directly at the Rants and Raves podcast at gmail.com or through the contact button on our website, www.therantsandраvespodcast.com.
Woohoo!
Woo!
I always like to close out the show with a weekly point to ponder.
Yes.
It's holiday season, so you may need some conversation starters. I'm not sure what the transition into this is, but I thought it was interesting. So for our weekly point to ponder before we get out of here, and we'll be back again next week, guys. Jessica, did you know that identical twins, when they have kids, right? So cousins.
Yeah.
Whose parents are identical twins share 25% of their DNA instead of the usual 12.5.
I did not.
So full siblings share 50%, right? So that means children of identical twins, they're legally their cousins, but genetically they are the equivalent of half siblings.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So actually, Spark My Interest podcast, Deborah and Diana are twins. If they have children, legally their children will be cousins, but they'll actually be half siblings genetically.
That's crazy.
How weird is that?
I love it.
All right, guys. We'll be back in the same place next week.
Yeah. Have a great one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.